You are here because the outside world rejects you.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Come on, let's get nuts. This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made a money. Come on, Peter Tingle. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What up?
Cameo. I'm Brad Reed.
What's up, Brad?
I'm joined by my buddy Cameo. We like to get together
doing?
and talk nerdy.
Yeah, we do.
Talk nerdy to each other. That sounds weird, but that's what we do. So
That is. I mean, call it like we see it.
yeah. So everybody who's joining us live on Facebook, we're back on Facebook Live for, I don't know, however long this will hold up.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, Cameo, because I've had internet issues over the past few months moving in and everything. So here we are, though.
Yeah.
We're on here and everything looks like it's holding up. So please comment, be a part of the show as we go along. We got lots to talk about. We're going to talk about some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, the video game announcement. We are going to spoil WandaVision. If you haven't seen the series finale on Disney, then I would suggest you go do that right now, because we are gonna talk about it. And then after we're not gonna like the last episodes, we've really broken it down, kind of gone over the episodes. We're not gonna do that as much on this one, because tomorrow me and Cameo are recording a watch along. Yeah. So it'll be a good time, and we'll break it down even more then. But we'll give you our general reactions and stuff. And of course, as I said, if you are joining in and commenting on the show, then you're part of it. So you help us out. And I know people are tuning in right now, so thank you. And then of course, those of you who listen later on after the fact, if you're listening on there's so many: Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts. Cameo, do you have any that you know of? Stitcher.
Did you say YouTube already?
YouTube.
Yeah.
So many places.
Facebook.
But, so if you're listening right now and you're like, okay, I'm listening wherever, but you should come watch the video. And then if you're listening on some of those and you're like, man, they're really into the conversation, and then boom, it's a ad for this or that. It is what it is, because it's where you're listening. We don't really, pick the commercials that go in, but if you want to circumvent all that, it's only $5 a month at dopepods.com, actually patreon.com/dopepods. And so that's where you can go. You can get it ad free. Sometimes you can get it a little earlier. And then we will be having some exclusive stuff. So, yeah, we're still in the launching, we're launching it still.
We got to start somewhere.
Right. So that's what's up. So, Cameo, I want to get into some of our nerd updates here in just a second, but I'm kind of trying to put the studio back together, right? And some of my stuff is still in boxes, but I've been a little bit kind of like into like getting statues lately. So now I'm obsessed with, like, I have these 2 Ninja Turtle ones I got, and I already have the action figures of them. But like, I like the statues because then you don't have to worry about posing them or them falling down on the table or off of the shelf, and so like I got these 2, I got and for those listening, Michelangelo and Raphael, and they're the, is this the cartoon or the video game version? I think it's the cartoon. Right? Yeah. Then I got Batman from the video game.
The Arkham series?
Yeah. And I got Pennywise, your favorite, from the original. Yeah. And the great thing is, I've learned, here's how you play the eBay game. If you just watch it, then they'll send you hey, we'll take 10, 20, however many dollars off. And so I've been buying these on discount.
Whoop.
Yeah. So that's been good. Good times. But
save that money.
But now I've got to have the other 2 Ninja Turtles. There's like a Krang. There's a Shredder coming. A Bebop and Rocksteady are coming at the end of March. Yeah.
That you already bought or
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to work every day. Like, this is why I go to work, is to buy Ninja Turtle crap.
Yep.
I'm
right there with you.
What do you got in front of you? Is that a Vision? Is that an old?
It is Iron Fist.
Oh.
The immortal Iron Fist.
Oh, okay. I got a little TV here I'm looking at. The immortal Iron Fist.
Here, let me.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice.
There you go.
I still would have been like, is that Vision? And is old? Is that Mr. Miracle? Is that Wolverine? I can't see it from here. No. The only thing I was worried about, though, and it seems like it's working okay, was my Ninja Turtles are green. So I was testing it out earlier on a different app, and it was kind of blurring them out with the green screen, you know? Because if you notice my Spider-Man shirt, it's purple. Mm-hmm. It's actually purple and green, but it's coming up black on the... Yeah. That's okay, though. It's all good. Oh, Cameo. Don't do that. Man. If you're going to do that, then all the people at home are going to be like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah, man. It's I had the Pig and the Butcher barbecue spot here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I'm still tired. I think I still got the itis from that. So whew.
It's a lazy Sunday. It's a lazy Sunday for one, as we're recording this. And for two, it's spring forward.
Yeah. And we lost an hour last night too. Man.
See, and spring forward, I don't know. It doesn't bother me on the first day because I don't get up early on Sundays anyway. Mm-hmm. If I was going to church, I guess this morning, I might have been like, oh man.
Yeah.
Because
that's how I was.
It'd be like 9 a.m., but it'd feel like 8 a.m. because it is. Yeah. They just need to pass that law that's going to get rid of it.
I don't understand why we need it.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. Arizona doesn't do it. And I think there's another state that doesn't do it. So it's just like, why do we even need to?
I know. It's like every few seasons we catch back up with Arizona and then we're like, bye.
All right.
So I don't know what's up. I will tell you though that for the second week in a row, we have been named the top Nakoma Park podcast by NakomaParkDaily.com, which
that's what's up.
If you go to it, it gives you that weird GoDaddy message that they haven't paid their bill yet. So I don't know, like, you know, how you can fact check it, but you can't. So but as far as I know, in this 4 square mile that we call Nakoma Park, you and I are the top podcast originating out of Nakoma Park.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Voted on by none of the citizens of Nakoma Park, but you know, it's put together by whatever algorithm runs, you know, NakomaParkDaily.com / not in business at the moment. So it's still an honor. It's still an honor, hey, Cameo.
Being number one is still being number one. I don't care where you're at.
Yeah, you know, I don't care. I'll tell the story. I had a radio show on the Cat like on Sundays, right? Mm-hmm. And it was called the Pure Rock 20, and I wasn't the originator of it, but I was the best. No, I was I liked it though. I had a good time doing it. I think you even ran the boards, right?
Yeah, sure did.
So like one book came in for the ratings, and I was told that I was number one for that Sunday, you know, Sundays at that time in the whole market. So that's cool. Oklahoma City's a big market.
Yeah.
And but then I was told, well, it's probably because the people after, or you know, the people that are listening before to the Zubek show are sticking around to listen to you. And I was like, well, I didn't lose them.
I doubt it.
I didn't lose them in the first hour. It's a 2-hour show, so I'm freaking taking that credit, man.
Yeah.
But that's how they do you in radio. They're like, hey, you did good, but we don't want you to think you did too good, or else you might think you deserve some money. You might deserve to get paid, and that would be horrible.
Oh, right.
So.
Oh, yeah. Everybody likes to get paid.
Yeah, yeah. So we were kind of talking about these Ninja Turtles, and I want to talk about, for our nerd update this week, the announcement that there's going to be a new Ninja Turtles game. And
yes.
it's what is it called?
Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge. And so I know for sure it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is it going to be anywhere else? Because I almost was thinking about buying a Switch.
It did say it's going to be on all consoles. Now, I have a Switch. Me and my wife bought a Switch of our own. Because the kids have theirs, and then we try to play, and they're like, "Oh, well, we want to play this game." Well, we did get it for them, so I guess they can play their own games on it. But so I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get us a Switch, so whenever we want to play it, we can play it."
See, when my grandma wanted to play with the Switch, we were like, "No!"
Right?
No!
Yeah,
we ran.
Yeah, Switch has a total different meaning.
Yeah, I still probably have Switch.
All right. Switch. Oh, got that PTSD.
Yeah. I gotta run. Gotta go, guys.
Right. Anytime the wind sounds too crisp, that's the Switch was there.
Yeah. So go ahead.
But yeah, so we got a Switch just recently, like maybe a couple weeks ago. But I'm really excited to play this 2D. It's gonna be 2D. So everybody gets caught up on the new age style where the graphics look almost like you're inside the game. I like how they're doing it with this, going back to the old school arcade type style video games that we played back in the day.
Well, I know, I have a blast. My nephews have probably played my Ninja Turtles arcade game more than I have, but I have a blast playing those. There's the Turtles in Time, but then the first one I can't remember what the name of that one is.
I can't remember that one is.
And then there was
the hardest video game ever.
Not that one, no, because there was that one. This one's a different one. I think you're talking about like the original Nintendo Turtles game. Yeah. Because I always that game drove me nuts. Because I always died in the sewers, like drowning.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to
drown. You're a turtle.
Yeah, I don't want to drown in the sewers. It was like the Oregon Trail, but like
right.
If you are out there and you beat that game, I want to meet you, and I want proof. Right. But I want to meet you because that took a lot of dedication. Because every single person I know and people that are good at games is like that game was too hard. I never beat it.
Yeah.
So.
I bet you even I've played some difficult games in the past, and I don't think that even my knowledge and my ability to because as a kid you're just trying to win the game. You're just trying to go through it, yada yada yada. But now with being kind of more strategic, I feel like I still wouldn't be able to do it. Like I still would be able to beat it. Like I'm I don't know if you're on PlayStation Network. You were able to download the Crash Bandicoot games 1 through 3,
right?
And I'm on the first game. I think like on the second story mission, and I'm stuck. Like I quit playing. Yeah, like I can't even get past it.
See, even I don't play games to the end. I really never do. That's why I like sports games more than anything, or like racing games or something that has a quicker end. But I liked that Mutants in Manhattan game.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay, but I didn't love it. I wish that we could have one that's like Arkham Knight. Man, why am I blanking on the other names for the Arkham games?
Well, you just call them Arkham series, but there's Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum,
right?
Arkham Origins,
right? So
I can't remember the other one.
So for me, because you got so much like open play in that, if you could put the Ninja Turtles in Grand Theft Auto, I'd be so happy.
That would be the best video.
Yeah. Get their little van.
Yeah. Well, see, and Mutants in Manhattan, that was a really good game.
Yeah, it was.
But it was so short.
Yeah, it was.
And I thought it was going to be more open world than.
Yes.
than that. But
I was looking for it to try to play it again. It's not on the network anymore. Like I was just going to download a digital version of it, because I gave a copy of it to my cousin or my nephews, and it gone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that thing's never coming back. So let's talk real quick because there's not a release date yet for that, right? For the video game?
Nope, not yet.
But we are excited. And of course,
yes,
they keep teasing us because like there's a video game, there's a Netflix show. Just give it to us. Just stop announcing it, give it to us, and then charge us.
Stop talking about it and be about it.
Yeah, and then take all of our money for the action figures. I mean,
right.
You know why I like the Ninja Turtles? It's because like growing up, me and my brothers loved it. Like we all loved the Ninja Turtles. We watched the cartoon, played the video games together, It's like we were the Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were the fourth Ninja Turtle out of me and my brothers. We just didn't know it. So you technically were the first and last Ronin. Right?
Yes.
Which two issues in, spoilers, I guess, because we're going to talk about it a little bit. Hopefully you've been reading it. And here's the deal. We decided to go ahead and talk about it because issue 2's been out a few weeks. Issue 1's been out months. It came out last year.
I think at the end of December
or November. Yeah. Because it was a long time. Do you know why they're spacing those so far apart? And like, isn't there only like 3 or 4 or 5?
5. It's a 5 issue. I don't know why, but I think that's the reason. Also, too, it's Peter Laird. If you don't know, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman are joining up again for this run. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen afterwards, but I think that's probably the reason why maybe Peter Laird wanted to do so much, or maybe it was money. I don't know. But man, if you're not reading this, you are missing out. Like it's amazing. My theory was correct. Who the last Ronin was.
Yeah. Should we go that far, or should we still just kind of walk around it? I mean,
we'll walk around it. I mean, it tells you in the first issue.
Yeah, but the setup, basically, for those who don't know, I guess, if you haven't read it, without trying to totally spoil it, one of the brothers is left. And something has happened to the others. So we find this brother after a while. He's been on his own for a while, and he runs into some familiar characters. And so he's telling the story basically of what's happened in that time. And for a minute there, like especially in issue 2, I was like, man, this feels like Batman going up to the mountains.
It really does.
To train and all that and seek vengeance. But I don't know. That part of it wasn't too big of a part anyway, so it didn't bother me that much. But the artwork in these last 2 issues have been great.
Yeah.
I think the story is interesting.
Yeah, in the flashback, did you notice that was Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's artwork?
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the way that they did it, because you don't find out to the end of the first issue who the last Ronin is, because of course he's got like all their weapons that he's been able to save, and he's also not wearing anything. Like that's also what's weird, is seeing him with no headband or anything.
Distinctive headband.
Yeah. Not because back in the day they all had the same color, but you were able to tell by their weapons. So since he's doing that, and so it's pretty interesting, and I loved who it ended up being, because it was kind of it was a good way to do it for the payoff.
Well, yeah, and if you know, just like Brad kind of gave it away without giving it away, who the actual turtle is.
Did I?
He was, yeah.
How did I?
If you know the lore of how the Ninja Turtles even started, the first Ninja Turtle that was ever created is the last turtle standing.
Really? Okay.
So yeah. So if you know who that is, Huh?
I didn't say that though.
No. You said you said that I was the first and the last Ronin.
Well, yeah. Well, that was just accident.
But I mean, if you don't know anything about,
but that is Turtles, a good hint, then I guess.
Yeah. So,
but see, if you know that much about the Turtles to be able to understand that, even though I didn't, then you've already read it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
hopefully you've.
So,
read
anyways,
it.
yeah.
But if you haven't read it, the first two are good. They're really good, and they're gonna make you want to read the next ones. And unfortunately, it'll be 5 months to a year, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's next month, either next month or April, that is it. At the end of this month or April. Sorry.
Well, that's a little quicker because, like I said, the last one came out last year. I was like, man.
Yeah.
Ryan Sheehan is watching. Hello, Ryan. He's popped up in the chat.
I see that Josh and Leah are watching as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday.
Yeah. I was hoping there wasn't much going on today, so maybe people would tune in. We kind of went on.
Grammys come on tonight, so.
Oh yeah, you're not boycotting the Grammys like the Weeknd?
Nah,
I'm boycotting.
I don't really care about the Grammys.
I'm boycotting because the fact that we didn't get nominated for best podcast on a record makes me mad.
Yeah,
because we are on the record as the best podcast. You know,
in the Park. So
and the world, but no. So Cameo, let's before we move on, I want to kind of just talk about this week is a crazy week coming up. It's what is today? The 14th, 13th,
yes,
the 14th,
14th. Yep.
Yeah. So in 4 days, we're gonna get the Justice League Snyder Cut. By the way, I'm calling BS on everybody on Twitter that's got like 5 followers that are like, yes, I was allowed to see the movie early, and now the Twitter embargo is up, and it was amazing, and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
yeah,
I want to see this movie, and I believe that other people have seen it, of course, and I'm not trying to throw shade on somebody because they only have 5 followers, but. If you only have 5 followers and you're trying to say they're giving you exclusive, viewing before anybody else, then I want on that list.
Right.
I mean,
we only got 2 followers, so I'm cool with that. Let me get up on that.
Yeah. If they're only giving it to people that don't have a lot of followers, I mean, we have like 100 or so, but we just don't do a lot on Twitter. I actually deleted my Twitter account the other day.
Oh yeah.
I'm just done. I'm done. I'm still on there with our Nerds to Men, so maybe I'll be more active with that page, but really I just use it to read news. And now I don't have it on right now. I got my Apple Watch and it shows me the news now without having to go to Twitter. So I'm like, maybe I'll just F off then. Dang. That's what Twitter feels like, though. Like a bunch of meanies.
Bunch of meanies. I think that's all social media, though.
Yeah.
You got that everywhere.
Well, Facebook, unfortunately for some people that may, be sad that I'm not friends with everybody anymore. But like, I got rid of most of, like, I created a new page to run the Nerds to Men page, and I've got a few family and friends on there, but I just don't really like it. Like back in the day when I was young, I was like, man, what superpower would I want? I'd like to be invisible so I could like rob a bank. But yeah, and we'll talk about robbing banks later when we talk about Cherry. But
yeah,
like, I think being able to like read people's minds would be cool. But now that I'm able to read people's thoughts like all the time on social media,
I know it's like,
I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want that. So
yeah. Like I could see why Jean Grey went crazy.
Yeah.
The X-Men.
Yeah. If you have to listen to everybody's BS all the time.
Right.
Our live feed is going cuckoo, but that's all right. Well,
no.
We're gonna stay with it for a while. So let's go ahead and get into it though. Cameo spoiler alerts all everywhere. WandaVision.
All up in your face.
I didn't want to go there, but you said it. So WandaVision episode 9, the series finale. No more episodes, no matter what you were hoping. I didn't see any extras, though. Oh, yeah, look at her.
You didn't see any extras?
No extra episodes, like you were saying. You were thinking they might give a couple of, like, bonus episodes, but...
Yeah.
And the interesting thing was when it first starts, I think it said like up on the thing or wherever that it was the series finale. So not season. So, but I've heard speculation of people saying that there could be another series with WandaVision eventually.
I don't know. I don't think it would be. Would I like it? Of course. I mean, it was amazing. But I just don't understand why they do a show. Because I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday about this. Like, this could have easily been a movie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
An hour and a half, 2 hour movie. But I mean, I did kind of like the fact that, we had, I'd say, there's 9 episodes. And let's just say like they were 40 minutes each. It's a 360-minute movie. So, I mean, I like that. That's cool. But when I see a series, like, I want more. I don't want limited run series. Like, give me another season.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they leave the ending like ambiguous.
Right.
So, or open, or
which
whatever
they did
the case
for this
may
one.
Be. Exactly. So, but I mean, I guess too, I feel like all of the movies now, they are, because I guess the Multiverse of Madness is the next
you're right
thing that she'll be in. So, but I kind of like it in the fact that they're treating these movies now like comic books, because you'll see Spider-Man go up against somebody, but Iron Man shows up, or Daredevil shows up, or whoever's in New York at the time. So I kind of like it how they're crossing these their characters together in each movie now.
Yeah, and then that's we were talking about that, like, limited run series on TV. Like, you want more. At least WandaVision has the benefit of this story is going to be continued into either I think it's going to be the movie, definitely the movie.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange. And we'll talk more about that here as we go, but just generally, after seeing every episode this season, I loved it so much, like so much more than I even thought I was going to. And to the point that by the end of it, I mean, I had little man tears, little crying Kevin Smiths rolling down my cheeks. What if every tear looked like a little crying Kevin Smith? Just ta, 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 ta.
Right. I feel like because I was watching Kevin Smith, or not watching Kevin Smith. I was on Instagram and saw Kevin Smith write about it. He said, I watched it 3 times and cried every single time.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if because I mean I'm not wondering, because I felt like the same way he did. Because the way that it ended was amazing. The fact that it did the 5 stages of grief, and I would say about every not every episode, but just about every episode.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty cool how Marvel kind of played on that, because I didn't realize that until I saw somebody post on it on Instagram about the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
They showed Wanda in each like photo and what that stage was. So I thought I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That was pretty deep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they went that deep on this.
It was deep. That whole thing, man. And again, if you've seen at least Age of Ultron recently, that would help. I did notice something, though, that because they were talking about in Age of Ultron when I was watching it, and she was saying, I think she was telling whoever, Ultron actually, about what had happened to them in Sokovia and why they were wanting to, fight the Starks and everything. I thought she had said that they were trapped under the rubble for like 3 days. Because in the show, it didn't seem like they were trapped because he pulled her out. But was that like after having been under it for 3 days already?
Possibly.
Maybe. I just didn't know if like, okay, well, like how did that add up? But other than that, so let me just kind of recap a couple of things that you had thought were going to happen.
Okay.
Strike one, no more episodes after this one.
Yep.
Strike two, we thought, well, I'm not saying we because I'm blaming it all on you. You thought that we would see Reed Richards or somebody from the Fantastic Four. That didn't happen. Strike two. And then strike three, somebody else, I guess, from the X-Men universe. And then anybody from the X-Men universe, I guess, strike three. So you're out. So when you found out that Paul Bettany...
I was right about something, though. Because remember how I told you about... And I would say, I would give me maybe 40% on it. If this was a test, I would say give me 40%. But about the whole fight between Vision, the White Vision, and the regular Vision.
Yeah, you did call that one.
So I pat myself on the back on that one.
yeah, you got 1 out of 10. That's a 10%.
That's a lie.
So anyway, cameo. Paul Bettany kind of had a laugh at your expense because he had teased that there was going to be like somebody, and I guess his actual words were there was going to be somebody that he just, it was a thrill for him to finally be able to work with or something like that, right?
You're right.
And so he was like, oh my gosh, I did not realize that people were going to like read so much into it. And I'm like, how could you not? I mean, that's the whole thing about these is the mystery, and unraveling it as you go on. But it still was kind of funny. Well, who did he want to work with? Himself.
Yeah.
Paul.
Which, he did pretty well playing those two different versions. One that was basically the original Vision, and then one that was a clean slate that was basically just an android.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was pretty neat at the fact that, not really. I mean, I guess you could say his range in acting,
right?
Because he did have some different weird facial expressions in this show in the final episode.
Yeah. Well, and after did you watch the making of WandaVision? Oh, you really need to watch that.
Okay.
It's Assembled. Marvel Assembled on Disney.
Okay.
And the first episode is the making of WandaVision. And man,
so technically I was still kind of right. There was another episode, just not pertaining to the story. No, I was right. No, I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
I'll give you your 40% for.
No, I'm calling it, dude.
No.
I'm calling it.
No, heck no. Heck no. But
haters gonna hate.
You should watch it because like he talks a lot about how in the first 2 episodes when they're doing all the stuff like in front of a live audience and all that, that's all new to him too. And he loved it. He absolutely loved it because of course, like if you've done it, I've done it. Anything where you're performing in front of a live crowd and if you feel like they're laughing at the right jokes and they're or cheering at the right dance moves or whatever.
Yeah.
It juices you up even more in the moment that you're there. So he was saying that he really enjoyed that aspect of it. And so it was cool. It really broke down like a lot of the elements of the show. And I enjoyed that. So if you haven't watched that and you enjoyed WandaVision, you really need to watch that. But yeah, so basically the new Vision is given his memories from the Vision that she has created that can't go outside of the hex. And so, I mean, as somebody, actually a philosophy major, I love that because that brings up all the questions of, so if you're Cameo, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're Cameo and then tomorrow you don't have any memories of anything ever,
Mm-hmm.
and you just wake up completely, not a different person, but you don't remember anything. So are you a different person at that point? Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, and if we live past a certain, physical realm and we go to like heaven or whatever, whatever people believe,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have your memories, like, okay, like you'd almost have to, it seems like, but
Right.
like things that we've talked about when we've talked about Westworld and all that, when you get your memory and wiped and they give you like a character to play. And so I kind of like that stuff because now is this new Vision basically? Is he Vision? Because he was created with some of the same stuff. He was programmed differently, but once Vision uploaded his memories into him, he's now Vision, correct?
He's a form of Vision. So
Yeah.
I read something on the lines of, so basically, because people were wondering, well, is Vision if the white Vision is going to get with Wanda, or why did Wanda not go find the other Vision?
Right. That's what I was wondering. Why didn't she go find him?
Well, I was reading up on some stuff and, came to the conclusion that's not her Vision. Whenever she went and saw him at the, when he was being basically disassembled or whatever you want to call it, she was like, I can't feel you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he's no longer there.
Right. And then there was that other scene where he was asking her how it felt with the Mind Stone energy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I don't know. I just feel you. So.
Yeah. And then also too, I read that, yes, Vision gave the white Vision the data. He unlocked the data for him.
Right.
So basically, with that being said, this Vision is a whole new Vision, other than that he has the hard drive, the storage memory of that was locked away. But it's like, me telling you, let's say I had a twin, and I was saying, hey, this is your life. This is the life that I lived, basically. And I'm letting you know. Well, does that mean that my twin will love the same people, love them the same way that I did? No.
Well, maybe not.
That twin was like, if that twin was never in my life at all.
Sure. But like Vision, he was just created like yesterday. You see what I mean? That twin would already have his own memories and stuff. And he'd be like,
right.
I think
That's
I
what
like Brad even better because he's a cooler version, like, than you are. But like, since Vision was just created yesterday and doesn't already have, like, all he has is what he's programmed to be.
Yeah.
So if Vision overwrites that, then he basically, but you're right though. If maybe he didn't overwrite it. Maybe he's just taking his data, mixing it with what he already had. And he's like, okay, I don't want to be this guy that they're wanting me to be, but I'm not this other guy either. And they have like that really cool conversation about, if the wood of the ship and is put in another, and that's that whole deal. So,
I was like, this is some nerd talk right now that they're doing.
But it was totally cool because it was like, yeah, I mean, if you've got these high working minds that can process all this stuff, then of course they're going to be going through everything like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. That
was pretty neat though. I did like that. Grant joined us. What's up, Grant?
What up, Grant? So let's move to Quicksilver real quick.
Okay.
So it kind of did end up being what I was worried that it was going to be, which was he wasn't the Quicksilver from the other X-Men universe, or was he?
I still think that's up for debate.
Me too. I do think it is. But he ends up being, what's his name? Barry Boner or
Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner. And like, so he was just was he an actor that she brought in, or was he just somebody in the town that she?
I think he was somebody in the town. I think
no, he was an actor
house.
though, because he had that headshot.
Right. But I'm just saying that was like his house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Ralph Boner, we were hoping that maybe that it would come out that Agnes had grabbed him from, the multiverse or whatever, and then just brought him over here. So, because we've already said, and everybody knows this, it's not really a spoiler. This is all going to tie into the multiverse in Doctor Strange. Could it be that they did kidnap him? That's why he does actually have the Quicksilver powers, but made him think he's just an actor playing Quicksilver.
Yeah. I mean, that could definitely be it.
I'm hoping that's it.
Because, I mean, we noticed that his necklace basically put him in that trance. But I kind of feel like, how could this, Agatha give him
the Quicksilver
powers?
Yeah.
So
she could just give anybody powers at that point, right?
Right. And this might have been, I'm hearing like the things that I've watched, that people that break this down, I've heard people say, WandaVision wasn't supposed to come out as early as it did. I forgot what the reason was. It came out earlier because I want to say that Winter and the Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out before.
Really?
Yeah. And like this was supposed to come out later in the year. WandaVision was, which would have, been closer to time for the Multiverse of Madness. But they were saying basically it was kind of a joke. Like this wasn't really supposed to mean anything because they weren't supposed to basically bring up mutants yet.
Right.
So this was supposed to be later on, whenever they were supposed to do like some other movies that end up being pushed back.
Yeah.
So they I think they're trying to, steer us in the wrong direction. That this wasn't supposed to be the new, like showing mutants being in the MCU yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think it's the exact opposite. I think they're just, putting that out there. So, we're oh my goodness. So we're basically throwing off the scent, basically.
Yeah. And then, some people I've seen on Twitter and stuff are like, why are you mad? Like, why are you mad? If anything, it was just a cool little, haha, tribute to you people that who love Quicksilver, like, like me, like, and who loved Evan Peters' version of Quicksilver, in the X-Men universe. So, but it's just, don't give us the hope that like him and some of these other ones that we love are coming unless there's something to it. And so I still am going to hold on just a little bit of belief that there was something to it.
Yeah.
So, Monica Rambeau on her little section on the, after thing, the making of, the actress who played her was hoping that it was Monica Rambeau that she got to play, because she really loved that idea of, and they showed where at the end of that movie, Captain Marvel, the young Monica Rambeau and her mom are talking, and she's telling her she should go and do her thing. And so she was like, when she got contacted, she's like, yeah, I want to be in a Marvel thing. And then when she found out she was Monica Rambeau, she was really, really stoked. Now, Monica Rambeau also seems to be going places after this show, because at the end, she is alone in a theater. Well, no, she's taken to a theater by what ends up being a what is it called? I always mess it up.
Scroll.
Yeah. And then the scroll is basically telling her that somebody wants to meet with her, and when he wants to meet with her up there. So Jesus, she's going to go talk to Jesus.
Yeah, she wants to talk to Jesus now.
Yeah. Who is played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So Nick Fury and Nick Fury's getting his own show, right?
Yeah.
So I bet that's
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
I bet
I'm
that's
sure
where
she's going to be in that.
Yeah. So that's cool. Who else do we need to tie up their little loose ends? That's pretty. I mean, Kat Dennings. They all got rid. But then there's Agatha. So it comes down to, the fight between the new Venom, the new Vision, and the one that she had created, who can't go outside the hex. Neither can the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically Agatha and Wanda in a fight for Wanda's power, and Agatha ends up losing, as we figured.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved her character. I thought she was great. I thought that the comeuppance she got at the end was even better, because she was made to stay in the town. Like, everybody's put back to normal except for her.
Yeah,
she has to keep playing like the weird neighbor. So that was cool. Right. That was cool. And then her kids, though, man, when the hex is like coming in on itself, and she and Vision are putting the kids to bed, and they're waiting for it to come and for everybody to go. Man, I cried. I can't. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My son Jonah was like sitting, like, I have my chair here, and he's kind of like on the couch, like on the side and behind me, and that's where Jennifer was, and I'm like trying to keep it all on the down low, over here, like. I don't want to see them to see me crying, but I couldn't help it, man. That was good. There was a lot of emotion there. Man. Yeah, and then when her and Vision had to say goodbye, it's kind of
almost right. Go ahead, you can finish.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, they had that. He was like, we've said goodbye to each other a few times already, so it stands to reason that this, we'll say hello to each other again.
Yeah.
And so that also made me wonder if, her and White Vision are going to go brown chicken, brown cow. She's like, I want them babies.
Well, I'm done with you. Not the brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
No, I feel like, something's going to happen to where the White Vision might possibly he's going to process everything that just happened. And then possibly come back in a sense to where, they team up again, and, it's a love story all over again.
Right.
I kind of feel like it's that movie with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, 50 First Dates.
Right.
Where instead of him being reminded every single day, it's going to take some time for him to understand that, that Wanda was the love of his life. And even though he was only alive for like a year.
Yeah.
But so I feel like, they're going to play on that maybe sometime in the future. I'm not sure how Paul Bettany's going to come back in whatever episode. Maybe one of the next Avengers movies he'll come back, maybe be the savior.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. I'm excited to see how that pans out, though. Like, I'm glad. Before, I didn't care that Vision got killed in, what was it? It wasn't Endgame. It was the one before, right?
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. Like, I didn't care. I was like, whatever. But now I really like Vision a lot more.
And I mean, because he was only in half of one movie, and basically a full movie, or actually he was in 3 movies, but I would say that his time on screen was like an episode of WandaVision.
Yeah.
He wasn't, an integral part. But he really doesn't need he already got his origin story. They made him,
right? Yeah.
So there's no need to have like an origin story for him, obviously. But I would say put him in some more movies. I think that's what Paul Bettany's role is in the Marvel universe, or the MCU. Sorry, is to be one of those characters that pops up in other hero movies.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more from him going forward. And so then there was a couple other things like, I woke up that morning, Friday morning when it came out. And I looked at Twitter first thing in the morning and I was like, crap. Cause it was hashtag Nick Fury, hashtag Mistopheles, hashtag Mephisto. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting my evil people mixed up. Mephisto. Yeah. And so I was like, oh no. So we didn't actually see Mephisto though, but I saw, that was the other thing. Like people must get up, and I guess that they're better podcasters than me. They must, like, as soon as it's released at midnight, watch it, have like all their stuff ready to go, videotape it real quick. And then like at, 50-minute episode, 55 minutes after the show has been released, they've got their episodes up, breaking it all down. So
right. Yeah. I'm like, dang, y'all are quick.
They have interns. We don't have interns.
No.
So no, I don't know how they do it. Well, they probably don't have jobs. So the life of social influencers. But
right.
Yeah. So anyway, there was no Mephisto, but somebody said that there was like a little scene where like there's like this red, there was like these red looking eyes behind her, as like there was like a rush of red, and that was like could be Mephisto. I was like, oh, okay. But then there was the extra scenes after, and one of them showed Wanda up in her cabin, which by the way, they always put her in the dumpiest of clothes. Like she's always got to wear like the worst pajama bottoms and, sweatpants. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, when she puts on her little red outfit, I like that better. Anyway.
Well, she did have it on.
Yeah. So, but no, so she's there. She's, hanging out like a monk or something all by herself. But then you see like a weird version of her, like her spirit version of her, reading that book of all the spells or whatever, the
Darkhold.
Yeah, that's it. And during that time, they were playing the Doctor Strange music. So that's why it's a known fact. This is definitely going to carry over into the multiverse.
Yeah, and you also hear her kids crying out for it too.
Yeah, so she's like, Vision, I need it. I'm out here in the cabin waiting. I need it.
Get out.
I need that pizza with the extra sausage. No, you out? You going home? You done?
Good night, folks. Good night.
But yeah, so that's where it ends basically. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I thought it was great. Again, I mentioned earlier in the show, next week is just, I was like telling my boss at work, like, Provo, I don't think I'm coming to work this week. I'm just going to stay home and watch the the Snyder cut. Then the very next day it's Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
What else is coming out next week? Isn't there some more stuff?
I think that's it.
Kong versus Godzilla is coming out. So we got a lot of stuff that we got coming up. That's cool. I'm excited about that. I'm really glad that, it is only 2 weeks between WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we might get some more answers faster than we thought.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty quick because after, I don't know if it's going to be at the end of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but May 7th, the release date for Black Widow.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that leads up to
May 7th,
Black Widow or not.
May 7th this year?
May 7th. Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Did we ever hear? Is it just in theaters?
Yeah, I think it's as of now, it's still just in theaters.
We didn't mention this earlier in the nerd update, but the Batman has finished.
Mm-hmm.
So it's March 4th, 2022 now is the release on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, another year. Get my vaccine, wear my mask. I hope I make it. So yeah. Okay, let's move on then from WandaVision, because we will do the watch along where you'll get a bunch of more reactions to it as we go. Right. You'll hear me. It's basically just we might even just edit it to the best part of it, which is me and Cameo at the end crying like little babies.
Crying.
Like, oh, yeah. I love you, man. I love you too, man.
Don't die on me.
Make it to next year so we can watch the Batman.
All right.
Yeah. So that's coming up. But we got a couple PandemPicks real quick. Since it's looking like we might be getting out of the house a little bit more soon. I wouldn't say just rush out just yet. Like I said on Facebook the other day, I got one of my shots. When I get the next one, as soon as it kicks in, I'm running to New Orleans. I'm going to lick Bourbon Street.
Don't do that.
I'm going to do it.
Okay. Well,
I love you, Bourbon Street. Actually, I hate Bourbon Street. Maybe I'll do it on Frenchman.
Okay. On a Frenchman?
No. So maybe. I mean, you know what? While in New Orleans.
Get out.
So the first one we'll talk about, highly anticipated movie coming to America. Like if you're going to look up Nerdz 2 Men on Twitter, the number 2, it's the same way here. Coming to America. Not starring Cameo. No. But starring Eddie Murphy. Well, yeah, that didn't work.
There we go.
There it goes. So, Cameo, I'll start, and then I'm going to throw it to you because I know how you felt, and I'm more interested in that. I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than going into it, I heard people say, man, there's mixed reviews. It wasn't a great movie, but there was a lot of great scenery and costumes and all that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I thought about it. I thought, man, the jokes just weren't as punchy. It just wasn't as good as, Coming to America, the first one. And it really felt to me, I'm just going to give you my final summation here. I don't even have that much to say about it. I liked it. It was Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall. Loved those guys. Leslie Jones. But I felt like this was like what Coming to America, if they had just decided to maybe make it like a TV show, like a watered down version of Coming to America. Okay. So Coming to America-ish. That's what I thought about it. But you enjoyed it like a lot.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Now I wouldn't say I loved it, but I really did enjoy it. Some of the jokes were kind of the same. Which if you seen the first one, you definitely see the second one.
Yeah.
But Coming to America is like one of my all-time favorite Eddie Murphy movies.
Yeah.
And so bringing everybody back, even the characters that were inside the show. We didn't get our Soul Glow on, but
he ain't lying.
Right. Like the preacher, like the singer Eddie Murphy singing.
Yeah.
All of that was dope. It's and then obviously bringing back the original cast members.
Yeah.
That were still alive.
I enjoyed seeing the guys in the shop again because those were my favorite from the the first movie and stuff. But like all the jokes had already been done. The fake McDonald's, you know what I mean? Like it was good to see it again. And there was some legitimately funny parts. I don't know. I just thought it was a little more watered down than I wanted it to be. And that's kind of what I was afraid of going into it. Like, I don't know if you could make a better movie than the first one, to be honest.
No, you really couldn't. Because I was kind of afraid when they were saying that Coming to America was coming out. So with that being said, I was like, I don't know if they can do it. And did they achieve what they were doing, what they tried to do? Was it on par with the first one? No, because I mean the first one was original.
Yeah. Right.
Then the second one was just recycled jokes and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. I didn't love it. I really enjoyed it.
Right. Well, that's kind of where, I mean, that's all I have to say about it. I think it's worth watching. I recommend you watch it, especially if you
have Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Now the cool thing is, they've been releasing a lot more Eddie Murphy movies on Amazon Prime now to watch. So I started watching a couple that I hadn't seen before, and I was kind of shocked. Have you seen 48 Hours?
Of course, yes. Another favorite of mine.
Man, all the racism in it, though. Like,
yeah.
Godly. So here's the family tree I was looking at. So Dirty Harry, the Clint Eastwood movies, right? Mm-hmm. They begat 48 Hours. It's the same kind of movie, basically, if you've seen those.
Okay.
Even some of the casual racism in it. And see, I get what they were trying to do in a way, because they wanted to, make it so where you never thought that these guys would have any kind of common ground, because one of them is a racist, basically, and the other is a convict. Mm-hmm. And so they thought that by the end, when they come together as friends and pals, it'll make it that much more, But to me, I don't know. If some guy said all the things that he said to Eddie Murphy, I wouldn't want to be that dude's friend.
Right.
And I was just like, and it's so unneeded, because, so let's see, Dirty Harry begat 48 Hours, and for another 48 Hours, it was all right. It was okay. Yeah. It was all right. But so then 48 Hours begats, oh man, what was the name of the movie with Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler, where he has to get Adam Sandler out of jail?
Oh, Bulletproof? I can't remember that one.
Bulletproof?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the roles are reversed, because Damon Wayans the cop, right? And he has to get Adam Sandler out of prison.
I believe so, yeah.
And so, same thing, you don't have to bring in, of course, it's a difference because Adam Sandler is white too, but you didn't have to make it a racist thing, you know what I mean? To show that they didn't get along, and then they did. So, and then, another 48 Hours, part 2, it begat the movie with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Rush Hour.
So, what do you think about that? The biblical.
That's a nice family tree.
So, but when you watch that, does that make you uncomfortable?
I mean, anytime that racism is apparent in a movie, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and those old 70s and 80s movies, man.
Right. And some of the the newer movies, when 12 Years a Slave came out, that one was really hard. And Django Unchained, when the white people were dropping the N-bomb, it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard. And I was talking to Christina about this, and we were saying, it's I feel like we know that they got to act.
Yeah,
that's their job,
right?
They like the script writer, the director, the producer, all that. They hired you to read the script, and I totally understand that. But then again, it's just like, do we really need another slave movie? Do we really need to know that this white person thinks that they're above a black person? No, we really don't. We really don't need those type of movies.
Well, even in this one, Eddie Murphy, I believe 48 Hours was his first movie. He had done Saturday Night Live for a few years, and 48 Hours was his first movie. And so he, as a man who's acting, but as a character, he gets called all these racist names, in the first half of the movie. But it doesn't go both ways. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, like, I don't think if you tried to if you tried to offer Eddie Murphy that role today with him being as established as he is, I think he'd say, you're not going to say those things.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it just made me, that made me kind of feel bad about the movie. Like, I like the movie as far as, aside from that part of it, but it still made me kind of like, come on now. All right. So Coming to America, the second one, we say watch it, but don't expect to love it.
Right.
Now, the second movie that I watched over this last night I watched it, Cherry. Yeah, Tom Holland. Did you know it was the Russo brothers?
Yeah.
The Russo brothers, they did Civil War. They did, how many of those movies did they do?
The Infinity War movies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did do both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 21 Bridges recently was kind of their...
I still haven't seen that one yet.
You haven't seen that? Mm-mm. Oh, my gosh. With Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. It's been kind of hard trying to watch those movies because I still haven't watched Get On Up. I haven't watched 42. I haven't watched the what's the one where he was the judge? Oh my goodness. Thurgood.
Oh, is there another one? Something Bottom?
Oh, I did watch that one. Oh my goodness.
It's on Netflix. Jennifer was telling me she had heard it was good.
Yeah, with Viola Davis.
Yeah, we need to watch that one. But just for that one, I thought 21 Bridges was a very good movie. I think the Russo brothers would make a really good Batman movie. That was the one though that I did, and I know a lot of people said it, and it was kind of hurtful after, but I did notice in that movie that Chadwick Boseman had looked like he was losing weight, and I was like, I wonder what that's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was I liked that movie, but Cherry is their best movie they've ever made.
Man, by far.
Let me back that up. A lot of people love the Endgame. They love Infinity War.
This is you can't compare this.
Let me say this. Cherry is the best film they've ever made. And like I know a lot of people don't really, they get mad even at me making the distinction of a movie and a film, but this was a film. It was very much a film. And there was what was it? It's like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, but the way they break down the segments of this guy's life,
it's like a book.
Oh my gosh. It was so in depth. And it's about a guy who basically goes from high school dropout to medic in the Army. Huh?
College dropout
to medic in the Army. Comes home from the war with a bunch of PTSD, is addicted to drugs, and his life spirals out of control. That's a pretty good summary, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, Tom Holland is so good in this movie. He's so good.
He has range.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because the first thing I've ever seen, or I won't say the first thing. Technically, the first thing I seen him in was Spider-Man. There was a movie that he was in with who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi? What's that dude's name?
Dang. Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan. He was in a movie with Ewan McGregor, and it was I forgot what it was called, but basically I want to say he was probably about like 12.
Oh yeah.
And like his family they're on vacation and a tsunami comes.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
So that was like, as a kid, seeing him in that.
I saw him in one not too long ago where it was more of like an indie film. I think it's like him and his brother, and his dad's kind of abusive or something. I can't remember like exactly. Okay. I know Tom Holland was really good in it though. Yeah,
like Tom Holland, man, like he is amazing.
Yeah, because there's a scene or a sequence in that movie where he sees something horrible, And the way they show it was so okay. So this is one of those movies where we talk about realism in movies. There was a lot of realism in movies, but then there were little things that they threw in there, and we'll talk about that in a second. But when they showed what really broke his character, like the way he acted from then on in the movie was completely different. And it was it was amazing.
It was like a 180.
It was amazing.
It was like a light switch.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I mean, if I will say, because some of the stuff that my brother had told me, because my brothers had fought in Iraq and stuff too. This movie might be hard to watch if you have PTSD, or if you
have, memories of seeing some horrible things.
Yeah, this movie could be hard to watch because it is brutal.
It really is. But again, oh man, like it got me.
Yeah.
And not like I didn't cry in this because one, I don't really have anything in, like, I know some of my buddies that have been in the war. I know one of my buddies is like, like he even questions a God because of what he's seen over there.
Right.
So, it's amazing how, he jumps into this war, and then, coming back home, like you said, with the PTSD, doesn't really know how to handle it. Everybody just wants, big pharma just wants to give you pills to deal with it.
Exactly. Because like my brother went through the same thing. They will overdose these guys, because they just want to throw scripts at them.
Yeah. And, the thing is, too, is just like there was a part where, and it's not really giving too much away, where, the whole Oxycontin thing came up. And we know right now, Oxycontin is like one of the big drugs right now that, is what people are getting hooked on at the moment.
Right.
So, and then, I haven't been in a war. I haven't, I would never want to go to war. But it's, I kind of feel like that would be something that would happen to me.
Yeah.
Because, at the beginning of the movie, it's just like, he was like, the most,
he was like a sweet
innocent
kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The most innocent thing that he said was he was like, I love trees. There's never been a tree that I did not like or I did not love.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this dude was, innocent in a way.
Yeah.
And then, the war messed him up. And also too, okay, I won't go into the movie because I don't want to ruin it for people on, basically where that switch turned off for him.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I just want to say Tom Holland was amazing in this movie. Yeah. If you like Tom Holland and Spider-Man, or you've seen him in other stuff, watch this movie.
But see the other thing too, man, they spent so much time, I thought, fleshing out these sequences of events in his life. And, even like the training, like when he was just training in boot camp and stuff, the stuff that, they were teaching them, like racist words for their enemies and stuff. They're dehumanizing their enemies so that when these guys get over there, they're not having to stop and think like, oh, is this a person, or is this, that's going to mess people up.
Right.
It's going to mess them up because they come home and they're like, oh, well, this guy might look like that guy, or, and so, man, it was just, there was a lot of realism. But see, so then here's the other thing I want to talk to you about, though. I got to watch it again to see what this was all about, because there was little breaks in realism, though. And I don't know if that was like to portray his break from reality, like his break from everything, But in the beginning of the movie, he kind of talks to the screen. He breaks the fourth wall. Throughout the movie, he kind of narrates. And then there was some scenes where he's going into a bank, and if you look at the name on the bank, it's something that would never happen. Like it's, like the bank's F America, like,
Yeah.
So it's it was a statement too on, like these institutions and stuff. And they took that out of the whole realism aspect of this movie, which is very based in realism. So that aspect intrigued me a lot. Go ahead.
Now that you mention it, I was going to say, because there were a few things that, that I feel like it was more of a, because he mentioned this in the movie, like, I'm a veteran and this is how you're going to treat me. I felt like that's his impression of that bank.
Right.
Of the banks that he, had robbed.
Right. And then, spoilers. Now,
it's not a huge thing.
No, and if you watch this movie, you're gonna love it. I mean, I guess if you love good movies, I'll just put it like that. But then like when he was a soldier, it always said soldier instead of his name. And at first I thought, I wonder if that's a boot camp thing. But even when he was getting an award or whatever, it still said that. So it was basically, and in boot camp he was saying, is any of this even real, or are we just fake? Are we just fake soldiers? And so there is like, they're trying to at least establish that there's some kind of break from reality with him or within this whole story. So it's worth watching again, I feel like. Also, too, I noticed this because every time, because I accidentally had the closed caption on. Mm-hmm. And every time that he talked, his name would be Man. Yeah. See, it wouldn't be, it wasn't his name, which basically was Cherry. Yeah. I'm not sure why they didn't do that, but I kind of want to do some digging and some research. Because I think that so it's kind of like this theme. You saw it in like American Psycho, basically, where all the guys, wore the same suits, wore the same shoes, went to the same barber, wore the same fashion glasses, to where everybody thought that they were so individualistic that they all ended up just looking like each other and they couldn't even tell each other apart. And so that was kind of making the I guess the analogy between that kind of life and just the materialistic life of, like if we all buy our shirts from JCPenney, then none of us are really individuals. We're just consumers and all look the same. Right. So that's why me and you look for those custom threads. So the other thing was, cause like, since you said it, when he's robbing the bank, he doesn't even have to wear a mask because he just looks like some average white dude. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? And so I think that they were all of that is kind of playing into just that he could be any guy. He could be any guy that got put into these positions and came home, and this is how it could have gone. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So that's how I felt about it. I love this movie. It is a long movie. I think at first it kind of felt a little slow even to me, but once it got going, I was sucked in, and I definitely, like I say, I got to watch it again. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Amanda Bowling McCormick, thank you for tuning in. I went to high school with Amanda. Oh, nice. She was my girlfriend for like 2 weeks. So 2 weeks. Yeah. Dang, Brad. Hey, what? Scare her off. Hey, yeah. I was gonna try to make it sound like I was some kind of player, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. So anyway, cameos, that's pretty much the show. All right. I'm really excited about next week. Yes. Before that though, we'll go ahead and do the watch along of WandaVision episode 9. If you haven't seen all of them, go ahead and go watch them. I really think you should right now. Yeah. And until then, I just keep it nerdy, right? Yeah. Keep it nerdy. Put a smile on your face.
Smile and put on a happy face.
Wakanda forever!
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
That was awesome!
Freeze all motor functions.